What's up, guys? Here we are on to another video here today. Links in the description if you are interested in any of the music that I created is available below for free. I always play a song at the end of the video as well, so you can check that out if you're interested into what kind of weird shit I do. Because, you know, you see a guy just talking shit and you're like, this guy can't play. I can fucking play. Enough said. Anyways, so we're checking out Slipknot Orphan, right? Okay. I picked this track randomly out of the new drops here that came out yesterday because I haven't heard the whole album as of yet. But Orphan sounds like it's going to be kind of heavy. It's 6 minutes. I would assume it's going to be maybe proggy a little bit. I'm guessing. I don't know. But I want to check it out. So we're going to be checking out this track. If you're not familiar with Slipknot, then you really shouldn't be on this video. Let's take a listen here. We've got Orphan by Slipknot off of We Are Not Your Kind. Let's check this out. All the songs I've heard by Slipknot this far, I've liked. So I can't imagine how this one's going to be bad, because the new album sounds like it's going to be fucking incredible. But let's take a listen here. Putting in a lot of samples, which they always do, which is awesome. It's kind of creepy, kind of eerie. Oh, fuck. That's very Iowa right here. It's very Disaster Pieces. Yeah, that's a Disaster Pieces riff for sure. I like Angry Corey. Sounds so much better.
So why the fuck should I? Fuck should I sell?
feels so much like Volume 3 meets Iowa. It's crazy. Great dynamics again. Okay, yeah. Fucking god damn it, that was good. Okay. No complaints there whatsoever. If I had to give critiques, because it's got to be something, right? It's got to be. I can't just say everything's perfect. The Disaster Pieces riff, that's in there a little bit, but they don't do that very often. Where they go back and they kind of like doing rehashing of an old riff. So it's not something that I hear all the time. So I'm not going to complain about it on a big level because it's kind of stupid. It's a different riff. It's same kind of idea, but it's a different riff. Similar notes, once again, but if you know anything about music theory, especially about riffs, they're pretty much all on the top string. Very, very few riffs, especially in like the death metal, heavy metal, extreme metal genre. Very few riffs are in higher registries. They're almost always on the lowest registry for the heaviness, because that's mostly what we're looking for, right? So you're going to hear a lot of that in repetition. So, you know, if a band has habits or, you know, regularities that they do on a familiar basis, you're going to see that. And that was totally, you know, it was a derivative riff of something that Slipknot does, but didn't sound like another band. So I'm totally cool with something that they do that sounds like them, as long as they still change it up and do some forward thinking, which they did. They had a great mix of things. I was just reading a Facebook post from Loudwire where they're talking about what makes Slipknot so great. Why does everybody love Slipknot? I think that people love Slipknot, if I'm chiming in here, because Slipknot brings to the table a variety of music that everybody thought would not work together. We have the weird techno, experimental sounds, you know, almost like post metal or, you know, type sound. And then you also have, you know, you have a little bit of the extreme metal, which is like the death metal, the black metal, that kind of stuff, where you have the tremolo picking, you have the heavy low-tuned riffs. Then you have a little bit of the new metal, which is a fusion of hip-hop and hard rock. It's essentially what new metal is. It's a fusion of hip-hop and, you know, hard rock. And they do that all in one song. And they do it so it sounds like a new sound, even though it's just a big conglomerate of other sounds. And they do a great job at it. And that's why I always I say this quite often, is like a lot of these bands that are popular, like Mastodon, like Avenged Sevenfold, like Slipknot, these bands are popular on the radio and got so big because they're radio bands that are disguising themselves, because they're actually prog bands that are disguised as radio bands. They're not radio bands at all. They're prog bands disguised as radio bands. And I think that people need to realize that a little bit more. You'll notice that a lot of prog guys like Slipknot, like Mastodon, like Avenged Sevenfold, that is because there is a huge amount of prog in them that just isn't in the wanky zone. It's all in what sounds great and works in the context of traditional songwriting, and they do a great job with that. And I can't make any complaints about how awesome that track was. Slipknot's tearing it up. I'm very happy for them, and I hope their new album does extremely well. And people can stop maybe ragging on them because their last two albums were kind of stinkers. This is not from anything that I've heard. All the songs that I've heard were good. So, I mean, I've heard 4 now. And 4 for 4, that's pretty fucking impressive, considering usually it's 0. The past couple records. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Until next time, laters.
The last few moments of this wild ride we call life could just be a transition from world to world. It could simply be an astral transformation from one consciousness to another. Fractals are thought to be the connection between us and the other worlds of the multiverse. The light we are asked to follow at death is a fractal. When you are knocked unconscious, you see fractals. If you're lost in the astral plane of a psilocybin-induced journey, you sometimes see fractals. These broken, seemingly random structures of light are filled with crazy mathematical perfection, yet are far from perfect at the naked eye. Could the door to the ever-vast, ever-expanding, ever-changing multiverse be guarded by the light of these fractals? Does immortality truly exist? The only way to know is to die.
So